Hello, my friend. David Burns in the Bee Yard. I'm pumped and excited to talk to you today about a big mistake that beekeepers make, a big area of confusion. And I'm going to clarify it today and show you why this is so important to get right, okay? So right now, this time of the year, a lot of beekeepers are asking me this question over and over again, and they're asking it from different angles, different scenarios, and they just can't really wrap their mind around it. And I know it's kind of challenging, especially if you're a new beekeeper, but even for experienced beekeepers, sometimes we get stuck in old ways and we don't realize what can really help our bees. And so today, what I'm going to show you and talk to you about is feeding your bees correctly. Now, a lot of you might think that bees really don't need to be fed. In just a minute, I'm going to show you a hive and give you an example. We're going to jump into a hive. But some people say, bees really shouldn't need to be fed, particularly in early spring when there's obviously dandelions, things are blooming. And if we feed them, aren't we interfering with what they should be doing naturally? Well, I want to give you an example. Like today, if you look at my weather app, that it's so important to have this weather app for beekeeping. I'll leave a link in the description. I've had this weather app for years. It's actually a weather station on my roof over there, and I've had it for years, and I love it because it gives me so much information about my bees. Anyway, so if you just look around at what's happening and how much wind there is, and as you can see on my weather app here, it is a windy day. 23 miles an hour steady wind with a 35 mile an hour plus gust. That's almost everything is a gust, but it is extremely windy today. So that means the bees, if you take a look at them, they really aren't flying. And they are trying, but look at that. They're not, it's just not happening, is it? Now it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, but yet the bees aren't flying because of the strong winds. And so that means the bees are trying to raise brood. They're actually trying to, be a beehive, but they can't because of the strong wind. Now, this isn't just a rare thing that today it's windy. It's been windy for the last week like this. And as a result, my bees are not really able to get the nectar that they need, the pollen that they need to really stay strong. Now, I'm not too worried about my strong colonies here because they've got a lot on board, okay? They overwintered well. I had a 100% survival rate of all my bees this winter because I fed them in the fall with my Burns feeder board, and I fed them in the spring with my Burns feeder board, and I fed them all winter with my winter bee kind. So they're well fed. But it's the new ones that I did. It's the new splits that I made. It's my mating nooks that I've made up. The smaller colonies. For those of you that are starting off with new packages, I'm going to show you. We sell packages, and I always keep. This year I kept. I think I installed 3 packages because I like to monitor how our packages do myself, and so I did install 3 packages. I'm going to show you what a package is doing in the midst of this rainy, cold weather, windy weather that we've had. They're just kind of sitting still. If anything, they're going downhill. And if we don't feed them, they're in big trouble. Also, if you're drawing out comb, if your bees are drawing out foundation, like on plastic foundation, it helps your bees so much if you can feed them right now during a time when, even though it's nice outside, even though they may forage, if you have a steady, consistent 1-to-1 sugar water with our additives on top, going through our feeder, then your bees are going to be more apt to draw out comb. Look, they can't raise any brood if they don't have comb for the queen to lay eggs in. They can't store any incoming nectar. They can't store any pollen if they don't have any drawn out comb. So what we have to do is assist the bees, help them to get a faster take on drawing out this comb on these foundations. Let's jump in and I'll show what I'm talking about. And as you can see here on my weather app, you can see that I still have some cool nights ahead of me. Not really warm weather, so that's delaying the bees as well. But let's take a look at this package that I installed. Look at this, a small cluster kind of around the middle of the hive here. And it's been about a week since I installed them. Now they're taking up about 3 frames right now. Maybe they're kind of on 4 frames probably. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. And of course, here's the queen cage. And we'll just take a look at that. And the queen is out. I know that for a fact because it's been long enough. Let me just pull that up. We'll take a look to be sure the queen is out. I didn't accidentally leave the cap on or something. Yeah, there's bees in there, but anytime that the hole is open, the queen is out. I don't need to verify that. You can. I know a lot of you want to, but it's just too windy right now. Okay, so we're going to tighten that up a little bit so that the comb won't be strangely pulled out, where the queen cage was taking up a little bit of that space. But what we have to do now is feed these bees. Again, in order to draw these frames out, there's not many bees flying today. It's just too windy. So in order for us to assist the bees, we're going to feed them 1-to-1. So what I do is I'll place on my feeder board that I invented, created like that. And I've mixed up my sugar water. I'm going to talk to you about this. It has my additives in it. And you can buy these on our website, but I use these smaller jars. It gives me more control over feeding my bees because I can watch how much they're eating. This is a small group of bees, so I don't really have to feed them that much, but this is enough to get them a source on the spring days when it's windy, rainy, cold. Even when they're clustered, this is now above the cluster. So they're going to be able to eat this, metabolize it, make wax, help raise brood, and this is so important for feeding these young bees. Again, anytime they're drawing out wax on frames, maybe they're a new package, maybe a new nucleus that is needing some assistance, that's how you really build your bees up. Now we can't leave it like this. Now we have to put a box around the outside. Let me show you. So we'll place this box right here. This is the medium super. And now when we change the jar, if you notice, we can take this off, refill it, and the bees are below the screen. That's why I created it, made it this way. So many of you have bought this feeder board and our additives over the last few years. It's been incredible. So thank you so much. But now we need to put a top on it. And once we get the top on, it's windy as it is, you want to put something heavy on it. So we'll just lay that right there. And that's how I feed my bees that really need fed this time of the year. So I know this is what a lot of you are going through. It's been cold all throughout the central US, and it's been windy, been rainy. And so to help our bees in the spring, when they can't forage or it's windy like this and they're really struggling, this is the time for us to go out there and feed them, even though there may be some things blooming. Now, right now here in Illinois, I am actually in a gap, a dearth, and let me explain that. You can see on my chart here, I made up this little graph about where my dearths occur. That's when bees don't have much to go out. So right now, there's not a tremendous amount of things for the bees to go out on because it's a tiny little time period where we're waiting for the clover. We're waiting for the Dutch clover to pop and start blooming. The black locust trees did bloom last week, but my bees were held confined to their hive because of the rains, because of the high winds, and the colder temperatures. It was not even warm enough for them to really forage all last week during the black locust bloom. So we missed that huge bumper crop around here. And so now we're just fingers crossed. But like I said, my big hives are going to be okay. It's just the little ones, the splits that I made, it's the packages that I installed, and it's some of the bees that maybe mating nooks that I've created. They're small and they don't have the ability to go out and gather up all that nectar, even if the weather does turn off good. I'm probably 10 days away now until I feel like we're out of the woods. So another week and a half, I'm going to have to monitor everything and just hope for better weather. So this Thursday, May the 7th, 2026, I'm pumped and excited. If you're watching this video close to the release date, you'll know that this Thursday on our live stream, we have a whopper giveaway. Look at this, a huge horizontal hive that we're going to be giving away. It's donated to us by King Bees in Rockville, Indiana, and they make our feeders for us. They make our winter bee kinds for us, and so they're going to be donating one of these huge, beautiful garden hives, horizontal Langstroth, $925 value. That's how much it is on our website. So we're going to be giving that away during the live stream this Thursday night. Tell your friends for your chance to win this. And yeah, that's going to be fun. Someone will be the lucky winner. Don't miss this Thursday night. Our live stream is at 7:30 every Thursday at 7. Our live stream is every Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Time. I answer your questions. I'll have a teaching, and it's just a fun time to be together. So make a note, set a timer, be sure and be on our live stream this Thursday night, 7 p.m. You could be the winner of this beautiful horizontal hive. Now in this video, I showed you how to feed your hive. You might be wondering, well, what did you add to it? How much did you add to your jar? It looked a little bit yellow, orange. What did you do to feed them? I don't understand the additives. I made a video just for you to watch how to mix this solution up to help your bees. Take a look over here. I'll see you guys over there.